So since I am an outsource, it is kind of like every now and then it's like a hand emerges from a curtain and hands me like a scroll. And it's like, okay, today you must make AK-47, but Easter Bunny theme. And I go, okay. And then, it's like I pass sketches back through this magical curtain. And sometimes they're like, yes, we like this one. Other times like, no, do it again. Do it again. I'm like, okay.
Rae, would you mind telling us about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Rae Girvan. I'm a concept artist at War Dog Studios. We're an outsourced studio that is purely art focused, and we basically make guns for a lot of first person shooters. Just anything with a weapon in it, we like to work on, and I like to do concept for.
That's really cool. I've seen some of your work. Obviously, you've shared some of it with me, but I've also seen it pop up in the game dev Twitter sphere, and I never really think about like weapon skins and things like that as something that a concept artist would focus on. Were you interested in art from the very beginning, or do you know a specific time when you were like, I really enjoy this and I can't get enough of it?
Yeah, art's like always just been my thing. Like as soon as I could pick up a pencil, I was drawing. Remember my dad, like ever since I was little, said, "Oh, you can see colors other people can't see." And I had nursery teachers like keep little drawings I gave them, and they'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell this when you're famous." So it's always been something I like was so drawn to. It's always been what I wanted to do, but concept art, like, I don't know, when I was growing up, I didn't know that was a job. So it kind of just fell into my lap, and I knew, like, once I looked into it more, that was what I wanted to do. I always wanted to be an artist, so it was just amazing, like, "Oh, I can actually make a career out of this. I'm not gonna be like, the kind of sad artist trope, sitting drawing people on the street for pennies."
Right. I have a similar experience. Like I remember a teacher that noticed that I was drawing horses all the time. I had like a horse, how to draw
Horses
horses.
are hard. That's impressive.
Yeah, and so I remember her just asking me for if I would draw her a horse and stuff, and I had like all my aunts would ask for signed artwork because they thought one day I'd be famous and my signature would be worth money or something.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. Where it's like, I remember my sister-in-law was going off at my mom. She just had she's got small kids of her own, and she was like, "What do you mean you don't have all of Ray's drawings?" And my mom was like, "She'd go through an entire pack of printer paper a week. Like, there's no way we could keep all of that." Yeah, it's cute. I do like how people do encourage kids to draw. I think it's important. It's how you end up with people like us,
Yeah, exactly. Well, what did you go to college or university for art?
So yeah, I went to Abertay University, which is like a small uni in Dundee. It's pretty known for its video game related courses. So I did a very general digital art, like computer arts course. And it was a lot of fun. I like met some of my closest friends there. And now I do have like friends in industry, and I made connections. It was also just kind of fun to have 4 years where I could just sit and draw, and university is free in Scotland, so
Oh wow,
bonus.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I definitely don't think it's something that everyone needs to do if they want to be a professional artist.
Right. Yeah, I personally went to university or college as I refer to it.
Yeah.
But I got a what do you call it? A Bachelor of Fine Arts.
Me too. Imagine.
I originally wanted to be a gallery artist and sell my work in a gallery.
Yeah.
I did a couple of shows in school, but then after that, it was kind of like that became really difficult to keep up with.
Yeah, for the longest time as well, I thought like gallery artist was the only option. My parents did try and push me, you know, like go do all these art courses, stop drawing anime.
Yeah.
But funnily enough, it's the drawing the anime and all the video game stuff is what got me here today. So
Right. And it's like there's commercial art and there's fine art, and
exactly.
I mean they're both very profitable if you get in the right place or at the right time.
Yeah, fine art's a whole other ballpark. They're very impressive, but yeah, I just like doing my commercial stuff.
Yeah.
It's fun. I learn a lot from doing it as well.
It's really cool. And you're very talented. So
thank you. So yeah, I was nosing through your Twitter. It was so cool. And like, yeah, as soon as I saw like the horror themed stuff, I was like, yep, eating this up.
Oh, nice. Cool. Lately, I've been focusing so much on getting this podcast off the ground, and it's taken a little bit of my focus away from actually doing the game development stuff. But tell me about your work experience. What got you into video games, and what was your first video game industry gig that you worked on?
So I'm still pretty new to the industry. I'm 25, and I actually just passed my 3-year anniversary at War Dog, which is my first job. Thank you.
Nice.
But I've been loving it so far. I didn't really expect to get a job straight out of university. And when War Dog walked up to me at the graduate show, I had all my stuff behind me. And they were like, oh, blah, 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 yeah, your stuff's cool. You want to maybe come in for an art test? I was kind of like, yeah, who are these guys? And I turned around to like some of my classmates and they're like, they spoke to you? Do you know who they are? And I was like, no. So yeah, I went along to my art test. I had £2.50 in my bank account for the 3 days on site art test. They fed me. It was very lovely. But yeah, did 3 days on site test and I got the job. And then my first actual industry game title, it was Hunt Showdown from Crytek.
Oh, nice.
And that was, I was like, what? They're paying me to come in and color in for 8 hours a day. I was like so happy.
That's so cool.
It was, but it was very scary, but it's worth it.
So what were you doing on Hunt?
So that was, again, kind of mainly just the game's cosmetics. So I often call it in work Barbie dress up, but with guns. So they kind of like be like, oh, here's this weapon. But what if it was themed around a bottle of wine? Or what if it was made by some swamp creature? And it was like so fun. It was also a big steep learning curve because I was not a weapons artist at all. I drew characters mainly. And I think I did 2 guns. I drew 2 guns before I got the job at Warthog.
Wow.
I did my honors project on Valorant because I was super into the game at the time. And I was like, I'm going to prove that I can draw things that aren't just fluffy, cute girls. And I gaslit my way into a job. So I sat down working on Hunt and I was like, I don't know what a receiver of a gun is. What is a buttstock? Okay. So it was a lot, but it was the team that kind of gave me all the advice and the knowledge I needed.
Did you have someone that was kind of like your go-to mentor, or how was it in terms of working with people around you to get kind of like up to speed with something that you weren't totally familiar with doing?
It was definitely hard at first. I was quite shy when I went in because I looked around and I saw all these insanely like amazing 3D artists and I was like, oh my God. So I did mainly go to my boss, Jade, at the start because she was the one that I did the interview and everything with, so I felt most comfortable with her. But then I kind of gradually got to know people in the office. And we have like our 2 big resident gun nerds, Gabriel and Simon. Okay. So sometimes if Jade was busy being big boss, I would just go up to them and be like, I have a really stupid question. And they were always so nice. I was like, it's never stupid. Like, it's okay to ask. And yeah, it's because of like the team that I did pick things up and I wasn't scared to ask questions.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I've learned in my career, I've learned the most on the job, I guess. Like, I've done a lot of self learning too, like looking up tutorials and stuff, but there's nothing like just being in the thick of it with somebody who knows what they're doing and like
Yes.
just learning all the tricks and stuff from somebody that's actually using them.
It's so insane. I sometimes liken it to like, I think my first week working at War Dog, I learned more from Jade than I did in 4 years at university. Because she would just come over to my desk and be like, okay, no, like, try this. And I was like, oh, okay, like sponging up as much as I could.
That's so cool. Do you typically only draw or only do art at work, or do you have time that you like to do it on your own as well?
I like to do it on my own. I think a big benefit of me not actually really being a weapons artist is I can like spend 8 hours at work rendering like polymer and metal, and then I'll come home and I'll want to go back to drawing my pretty anime people. Like I can color in skin. It's so different, but I don't really feel burnt out. I still want to go home and create, and because it is still art, the skills are transferable, and I can feel myself improving. Like no matter what I am working on.
Do you have a favorite piece that you've done, or a favorite game project that you've worked on, or both?
This was really hard. Like, it's hard for me to pick a favorite game that I got to work on so far because they've all been so different. I think Hunt Showdown's art direction was just so immaculate. And then I went from that and learning how people made knives out of antlers straight onto Modern Warfare 3, where I had to figure out how to make a sniper rifle that was also like, oh, what do you call them? The thing, Resident Evil railgun. I was like, oh my God. So I learned so much on that and I love it for that. And then I was on to Black Ops 6 and it's back to like playing more of the dress up, but their briefs are always so different. I do think my favorite gun though has probably been from, I think it was the Hocus Pocus set for Black Ops 6.
No way.
Because yeah, they gave me like, it was a magical girl like anime set, and I was like, oh my gosh, like just above my desk I've got all these figures from like a show called Madoka Magica, and I was like, I should talk about my favorite anime at work.
That's
yeah, sometimes like a brief title comes through and it's got like, you know, magical or like anime. Oh my God, give me it.
That's funny.
So yeah, it was just so fun getting to do swoopy shapes and big gems and stars, especially after doing so many kind of nil-simmy type things.
Yeah,
it's so fun to kind of let loose of it.
I've only played some of the older Call of Duty games, so I'm not super familiar with like the more custom multiplayer aspects of the modern Call of Duty. But so the stuff you're designing, is it like for multiplayer maps and multiplayer skins and stuff, or is it stuff you can use in the single player campaigns and stuff too?
It's mainly for like the multiplayer, so like stuff you get in like the battle pass or that come out in sets. So it's like, yeah, because like we never know what brief's going to come through, and some of them are really surprising. You're like, whoa, oh my God, like I get to do this today. And yeah, some of them are kind of wacky, and then every now and then it's like, okay, this one's you know, net camo ghillie suit, and I'm like, oh okay, and then it's like, whoa, hobby horse pickaxe, and I'm like, okay.
What?
So yeah, because it is also wacky, it's fun.
That's fun. Yeah, it's just like these random mashups of just interesting concepts.
Yeah, they're just kind of making something for everyone, and that's a lot of fun, the adaptability.
So you're talking about briefs coming in. Where do you sit in like kind of the order of operations as far as I know it's probably different being at a co-dev outsource
Yeah.
studio. So, can you describe just kind of like your role in the pipeline and like where your directives come from and where you I don't know, like who passes the baton to you and who do you pass the baton to?
Yeah, so since I am an outsource, it is kind of like every now and then it's like a hand emerges from a curtain and hands me like a scroll, and it's like, okay, today you must make AK-47 but Easter Bunny theme, and I go okay. And then it's like I pass sketches back through this magical curtain, and sometimes they're like, yes, we like this one. Other times like, no, do it again. Okay. But yeah, after I do that, I sometimes get to make suggestions for like inspect animations or like VFX. So yeah, after I polish up my concept, send them a nice pretty picture, they give it to the 3D artists, whether that's also Ordog or someone else. And then I will see it in game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever do mock-ups yourself, like in 3D, where you take your art and you apply it to a mesh?
Sometimes, yeah. I'm definitely not the strongest 3D concept artist. I think my mesh would probably make a lot of people cry.
Hey,
But every now and then, I think it is important that I do get to play along with it, round with it. Whether that is just taking a screenshot and being able to freehand the shapes over, or if it is like, okay, there's like a big shape coming out here, I'm just going to bash that onto the base guns so I can draw it and imagine how it would work in a 3D space.
So what exactly are you doing? Are you drawing over UV maps or something like that, or how does it turn from a concept drawing into an actual skin, I guess?
Yeah, so like they basically just give me like, say, a little pink gun here. They'd basically just give me like a naked model of the gun, and they go, okay, can you do this? But it's like a circus clown evil gun, and then I would like just get the little weapon in Photoshop usually, and I start to kind of sketch, almost like a sketchbook. Like I try not to think about it too much. I kind of rely on my existing knowledge of design and like where things lie, what looks good weighted there. And then I'll sketch it out a bit. And then usually they'll go, oh, we like this one. Can you take it a bit further or try this with it? And then that's usually where I can start thinking about like if I've added like a big shape.
Yeah.
You'd be like, oh, okay, but like how would this work now? Now I need to start the problem solving. So I could maybe like, maybe I do like bring it into Blender and I plop something on top and I'm like, okay, but does this still work? Other times it is just like I sit and look at the model and I think, does this work? It's like a combination of like my own 3D brain and using the computer for the assistance.
I think that's cool because you probably, if you're not super, I guess, 3D savvy, you might have a different approach than someone who's probably well versed in it. And I think it's really cool to see how other people visualize things and how they like to see somebody who's not super familiar, like what would their approach be? And I think that's cool. I
think as well sometimes like keeping it messy, especially in those early stages, it kind of can benefit you a bit more. I think with like 3D, you can pretty it up quite a bit quicker. But in like the 2D, I could hand them like a really messy sketch, and sometimes tidying it up more just makes it look worse, because if someone hands you like a kind of bad drawing, you can fill in the gaps.
Right.
But like if someone gives you a kind of a bit more of a fleshed out thing, you start to see the issues with it.
Yeah, it's like your mind can't fill it in as easily because it has too much information, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
So, let me see. That's very cool. Very cool. And we probably talked a little bit about this already, but what is your preference in terms of style? Do you prefer stylized graphics or art as opposed to photorealistic, or vice versa?
Like working in it myself, or like to intake?
I guess what's your preference as a consumer or as a gamer? What would you rather see? And then also on the flip side, what do you prefer making as an artist?
Yeah, I think as a consumer, I definitely do like stylized graphics a lot more. I think it's so timeless. Like you can think about something like Dishonored, and it's got such a distinct art style, and it's so beautiful, but I wouldn't think of it as cartoony.
I just remember like when you first you ride that little boat with Samuel, I think is his name.
Yes.
And then you get out at the like on the little island or whatever, wherever the Hound's Pit pub is.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember getting out of the boat and walking on land and just staring at the ground and being like totally amazed that every texture seemed to be painted with a paintbrush. And I was just like, this is really impressive.
Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Everything is just treated as art. And that's honestly one of the games that really kicked me off into really wanting to pursue game development.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones, again, like it's stylized. It's just got that timeless look to it. It's so beautiful. I think it's one of the artists behind it. I can't remember. Like he did all the paintings for the actual paintings in game. I went down a rabbit hole after I finished the game of just Googling and being like, people can do this like with their own two hands. And that, I was just like, I want to do this. But then again, I didn't realize I was like, that guy was paid to do that. That was his job. In my head, I was like, oh, what a cool universe he must live in.
It's some other planet where people do fun things for work.
Yeah. I watched a video recently on, I think it was about Half-Life 2, and how well that art style has aged. And I remember back then you probably would have thought about it as realistic, but it's not. It's so finely tuned. So I prefer stylized as a consumer for that reason. But when I'm creating, I do like both. I think both is healthy and it's good, because I was very focused on stylized, especially when I was younger. But getting an opportunity to work on more realistic graphic games like Call of Duty, for example, it's been really good because it hammers in my fundamentals. Maybe my art teachers were right and I should have done more studies, but it's the balance as an artist I really enjoy, because doing realistic makes my stylized stronger, and vice versa. They rely on each other.
Yeah, for sure. I think studying real life and real objects gives you the kind of the fuel and the information to get a little crazier with it. You can't really stylize something that you don't fully understand as a real thing. I think it helps to have a foundation in realism.
I think as well, you kind of, the more you learn, it's like the typical artist curve, like you'll be like, oh, my art's really good. You're like, why is it worse? It's just because you're like, you can see it now. You understand things better. You're seeing the mistakes, but then you build upon it. And you just kind of.
Yeah. Okay. I guess we kind of talked about this, but I want to just break it down as like a little bit more of a, not necessarily a bullet point list, but what is your process like? Like, where do you start if you're approaching a brand new project from a clean slate? You haven't touched the canvas or the Photoshop. What's your first move, and then where do you go from there?
So my first move now, like I get the brief and I'm looking at the weapon, is I just immediately kind of pen to tablet instead of paper to pen to tablet, and I start like thinking about like how can I make this work. And once I start to kind of get my initial ideas down, I'll start to kind of look at reference or look for inspiration. I think it's important that I get that initial kind of brainwave down, because otherwise I'm just going to spend so long scrolling through Pinterest or looking at other people's work, and I'll end up too attached to what I see rather than what I see. So, like, yeah. And then once I do that, I'll usually send away like a first pass. These are usually, like maybe 3, maybe 9 sketches, and I'll send that away. And then I'll get some feedback on that. Sometimes I'm really lucky and they just go, we really like number 3. Please finish that for us. Other times it is a bit like, kind of like this bit on number 4, kind of like this bit on number 2, but we hate this bit on number 5. Like, don't go near that. And then it's a bit more back and forth. So everything is so different for concept because it's almost like water,
Right.
You never know if you're going to be able to hit the nail on the head the first time.
Yeah, and all like anything's possible at that stage, I think. And
yeah.
So there's not as many constraints when you're drawing, I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's why a lot of aspiring concept artists actually should do things like commissions and learn how to work with people, because if you want to be a concept artist, what's more important than like how you draw and how good you are at making pretty picture is how you communicate not just your ideas, but also with other people. Can you take feedback? Could you handle it if someone comes up to you and says, actually, all of these are bad, can you do it again?
Right.
And can you understand what someone says if they say something to you? Like, can you give this bit a little bit more impact? Like, you have to learn how to work with that. I've been doing commissions since I was 12 years old. And that was so handy to me. Like, being told at 14, like, hey, this drawing you're doing for me for a $5 is bad. Like, but it's good, like, it builds character.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
you have to you have to understand what people's descriptions, like you have to learn how to interpret people's descriptions, because sometimes somebody might have a really clear vision in their head of what they're saying, but the words they're using don't necessarily make that same association in your mind. So
yeah, I'm sure you get it all the time as a like editor as well. Like, people must come to you and just go, okay, I want it, just go do it. And then if you hand them something you could be really happy with, they could go, it's not what I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you kind of gotta tap into a little bit of mind reading when you do anything creative.
Yeah, agreed. Totally agree. Let's hear some hacks or tips and tricks from somebody that's done this thing professionally for several years now, and for anybody who might be interested in learning concept art, what are some things that they might avoid?
Honestly, stop trying to draw everything. Like, photo bashing is okay. It is encouraged. Don't try and sit and, draw a perfect, like, glass something. Google glass, click on size large, and just put it in, especially in those, like, early ideation phases where you need to back out all the ideas. Just get it in, get it messy. As long as it is conveying your idea, does not need to look good. And like, yeah, I think focusing on conveying anything, and like the material and the size is more important than making it pretty. Like, sometimes, like, if someone could render a beautiful glass dome, but maybe it looks a bit too much like plastic. Is it plastic or is it glass? Like, or why does it look rough? Is it shiny? Conveying material is so important in concept, whether you're doing like weapons or characters or even environments. You should be able to kind of look at something and go, oh, I can feel that. So yeah, photo bash, stop trying to draw everything. Just get it out, make it exist, and then make it good later.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that meme cross my
Yeah.
timeline. Like, make it exist first. You can make it good later. And
So
it's like, yeah, okay.
good one to live by. Yeah, just get things down. That's kind of concept art in a nutshell. Just make it exist, and then you can twiddle away at it later on.
If the client wants you to, like, they might see an early stage of it, and
Sometimes it's a divine intervention of some kind, and you just get it right first time.
yeah.
That's okay too. But yeah, as long as you do try other things, I think it's always important.
Yeah. How early do you tend to show your work? Do you ever show just a rough round of like totally doodled sketch mode, or do you always refine to a certain level before you pass it off?
Sometimes it is total chicken scratch, but it's when I know the client and I know they can understand. Like, I've worked with, I think, 4 or 5 different clients now, and it's kind of, once I understand, is this another artist looking at this? Will they be able to get what I want, or is this like maybe a 3D artist that couldn't interpret it the same way a concept artist is, or is this just a guy? Yeah. So sometimes I have sent away just like, here it is. You know what I'm going for here. Just take it. And then if I am having a lot of fun on something, though, I do, take my time with it a bit more. I'm like, oh, this feels good. Yeah, you just clock in sometimes. So yeah, especially for kind of early ideation, I just try and get it out. I usually only have a day or two to get the first kind of round out anyway. So yeah, it's nice to understand the client and understand who will be looking at this and will they be able to kind of parse what I'm going for.
Yeah, I get that. There's definitely some clients that can read between the lines a little bit more than others. Do you ever use physical media like pen and paper, or do you paint with real paint? And
sometimes, yeah, I've fallen out of love with it a bit because I'm more or less always working on my computer. But I've tried picking up the sketchbook again, and I was going through all my ones from high school, and I was like, oh, this was so fun, just sitting, not making anything good. So just sitting, there's a big back, just sitting and doodling is so fun again. Yeah, and I used to do a lot of watercolor. But since I got my job, I've been feeling myself improve so much doing digital that it's almost I'm addicted. It's I want to keep doing this. I want to keep getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day I learn something new.
What's your favorite brush in Photoshop?
Default hard round pressure opacity. I did some studies. I think I sent them to you actually. And I mentor a student, and I think she's about 18, 19 now. And she's digital artist. She's playing with all these brushes, and I'm like, no, today we are doing 5-minute studies of Arcane, the League of Legends show.
Yeah.
And we're doing it with one brush, and you're gonna learn how to do it. Because
awesome.
kind of just forces, and hard round pressure opacity is my best friends, and
I like that. That's good. I've tried the I don't know what it's called, but there's one that looks a little bit more like a rectangle, and it's kind of swooped on the edges.
Square ones are nice too.
It looks
a little.
it looks a little bit like a marker, but anyway, I don't really do that much painting in Photoshop, but when I do, I use that kind of stuff.
I do recommend Procreate if you want to get down and dirty with brushes. That is so fun to paint, and I do feel like a kid with finger paint. Oh wow.
I've used it on someone else's iPad, but I don't personally have an iPad, so it kind of does me no good.
I guess I'm lucky bit.
Yeah. It would be nice if they had a desktop version of it, though, because I do have a tablet. It's just not an iPad. Yeah,
it would be nice. And it's kind of lovely. I got an iPad last year, I think. It was a gift from my partner. And it feels like I have a sketch pad like a physical sketchbook, but you know, I can like do all my funny, wacky colors in it and not have to worry about carrying around a pencil case this big.
Yeah, they're nice. Anyway, let's see. We talked about that. All right, so here we come to the woman part. What is it
Women.
like? What is it like being a woman in the games industry? Do you find it any different than you think it might be if you were a man, or vice versa? I don't know. Like, I have 3
At
daughters.
War Dog?
Yeah.
All right.
I have
Oh, you
3
got 3
daughters.
daughters.
So, yeah, I would like to think that they would have a warm and welcome environment any place they go. But
Yeah.
anyway, just if you could share your experience with that, that'd be cool.
Yeah, well, at War Dog, it's great being a woman because I basically get a toilet to myself.
Nice.
Lovely. I definitely do, like, you kind of feel it sometimes. I think I recognize it a bit more because I went to like an all-girls school. I hit university and I didn't know like 17-year-olds could grow beards. I was shocked. So I definitely do notice it a bit, and I am a very feminine person. I like being around like other girls, other women. But I think it's less about being a woman in those spaces and the people around you that matter more. Because you could just sit and say like, oh, it's, you know, it's all men and they're all mean. But like at War Dog, like the guys have always been really nice, for example. And I'm working in a very male-dominated field, especially with weapons and concept art, which I was surprised about. I thought that'd be a lot more 50-50, but it is a lot more male-dominated. But yeah, it's like the people around you, no matter what space you're in, whether it's like the video games industry or even like hospitality, you got to make sure you have that group around you that will call out anything that's a bit dodgy and like will look after you. So yeah, like I said, I've only been here for 3 years, but I feel safe where I am, and yeah, I've got a good team.
That's awesome.
And my own toilet. So
Bonus.
yeah,
That's really good. Really good to hear. Yeah, I think women are great. I married one, and she gave birth to 3 others. So
Keel. Oh, it's so
I
sweet.
have lots of women around me, and
Yeah.
anyways, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but
No, that's sweet. That's sweet.
yeah, I would hope, and 3, I guess all of them probably would love to be artists when they grow up.
That's so cool.
I guess that kind of brings me to my next question is like, how do you feel about the future of art given that the rise of AI and generative stuff just
yeah, it's a hot topic. It's a hot topic.
It is. And you say as much or as little as you want about it.
That's okay. I've got a lot of thoughts. I think there's always going to be things it can't do. And I think that's like our strongest bet at the moment. And it is so new because I can't lie. It draws a beautiful picture way faster than I ever could. Like, it's so beautiful. But at least for concept art, for people who know what they're talking about, you can kind of see the flaws in it. It basically feels like a Pinterest board threw up on a PNG. There's not anything like new or innovative in it. So that feels kind of nice, at least. It's not breathing new life into anything.
All right, it's just kind of remixing.
Yeah. But at the same time, in the wrong hands, it's lazy, not in the way that it is making these pictures to put out into the world. It's lazy in the way it's going to discourage, I think, a lot of, again, it comes back to communication. Like, if I say I do like work for someone, and instead of like just telling me what they want, they give me an AI image, and they're like, I want something like this. I would always rather have whatever they said to Grok or Midjourney. Yeah. I'd rather have that than whatever this thing spits out. Because otherwise, I'm just going to be looking at it and going, you want me to fix the problems. You don't want me to, like,
Yeah.
you've gone through all these generations and picked one that you liked and you want me to fix it. And that's lazy.
Right.
Ruins the communication. It ruins that kind of discovery process of making art. It just kind of kills a lot of the fun, I think. It's like, I worry about junior roles the most, I think. Because,
Yeah, same. And like, it seems like there's always going to be some weird transition or some weird like proportions that are wrong or objects that are kind of merging together in weird ways that I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a lazy photo batch of something rather than like actually constructed and thought about.
Right.
Yeah, you can always sit and say people will fix it, but you're not going to learn from just fixing.
It just seems a lot more random and not very like the references are just smashed together and they're just melted basically into the smush that's not necessarily based on anything specific. So it's like I would much rather reference an actual piece of architecture than a melted pile of garbage.
I see that a lot, especially for environment artists, where they're like, I was halfway through making the scene I saw on Pinterest, and I've only just realized it's AI. It's because they get to like something and they're like, wait a minute. Like, I feel bad for those guys. Oh,
yeah.
It's getting good.
I guess it's good at reprocessing a bunch of stuff that already exists.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just hope that it doesn't discourage people from actually learning how to do things themselves.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest worry. Like, I think I heard someone once say it was like, oh, it'll just be doing like work and then like juniors or mids can come and like fix it up and stuff. But it's like, you're not going to learn if you did that as a junior, you're not going to get good enough to make that on your own. And if the mids sit and like tidy that all up and everyone's just generating AI because it's cheaper and it's faster, you're not going to get artists good enough to clean it up at some point. Like, you got to go through the kind of not super great stage where it's the point where you could look at an AI image and be like, okay, I could see how I could fix that.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you're just sitting churning out AI, you're not going to have the people who are being trained enough that they could do just as, if not better than it.
Yeah. It comes back to that kind of like the conversation we were having earlier about like realism versus stylized, like where to understand how to like represent objects, you have to study them and like train yourself on how the real world is made and how it's built. And you don't get that skill by just generating stuff all the time. It's like hard earned.
Yeah, exactly. Like, any artist will know, like, it takes ages. Like, it takes so long to get to a point, whether like someone picks it up in their 30s but they put in the effort, or someone's been doing it since they were 5 and they've learned along the way. Like, both are just as admirable as each other. I have a little bit more respect for the 30-year-olds picking up. I'm like, how do you have the time? You're like doing taxes and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like I think there's beauty in the struggle too. And if you're not struggling, then it's like, well, why would I value this if it takes zero effort to produce? I don't know.
It's so much cooler seeing like even old artists are long dead, like seeing their early day stuff and then how they ended up where they were. I love that. Like, yeah, you can see someone's like story through their art, even if it is like, for concept artists, for example, you could give the same brief to 5 different artists and they're all going to give you something different.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I think that's the best part about humans.
Right. You have your own experience with the world and the things that you've interacted with to inform your expression. And I think that's what's cool. And that's what's like you said, that's what's great about humans.
Yeah.
We express ourselves to each other, and everyone is different.
So you strengthen your own skills, and you look up to other people. You don't look up to Holy Mother Midjourney. Other people should inspire you.
Agreed. Would you make art even if you weren't getting paid? Like if you found out tomorrow that AI is going to do everything for you now, or you just for some reason are no longer working as a concept artist, would you still make art?
100%. My hands could get cut off tomorrow morning, and I could be laid off from my job. But like art is just so comfortable for me. It's like I've learned so much, and sometimes it's hard, and I want to give up. But as soon as I'm over that bump, I'm like, this is the best thing ever. I could lose all my limbs and I would still find a way to, make stuff.
Awesome.
I think that's the fun bit.
Yeah, there's definitely something rewarding about creating something and then seeing the result of. I don't know. I have a tendency to just check my work all the time. Like if I'm making something, I do a little bit and then I stand back and I look at it and I'm like, I made that. That's so cool. I made that.
I remember we had someone in the studio once. They were just doing some work alongside us. And I was talking to him about like concepts, and I was like, go stand over there for a bit and just look at it. And it was like so cool actually seeing it on someone else's face, because I'd only ever done it to myself. Just seeing him go, it's like amazing. Like, taking a little step back and appreciating what you've done.
It's super cool. Well, I guess you've already said this, but what would you say to someone that wants to pursue a career in concept art? Do you have any advice?
My main advice would be stop trying to be the best drawer. You do not need to make a pretty picture as a concept artist. You just need to make something that makes sense, something that communicates. You don't need to be the best drawer. I wasn't the best artist in my class, and I was the one lucky enough to be doing what I'm doing now. It's all about your communication, how you communicate through art and verbally and through text. That is more important than making a pretty picture.
So would you say it's more about being a professional than being an artist?
Somewhat, yeah. It's like you still have to have the art side of you to be able to put it down, but it's more about like for concept art, because you give one of your concept pieces to a 3D artist on the other side of the world that you have no point of communication with, that can't read or write in your language, so you can't add notes saying this is this or pictures saying this is this. Can you hand off just a drawing and say make this? That should be your end goal.
Yeah,
they should be able to understand that, and it doesn't need to have beautiful perfect proportions. It just needs to work.
Totally understand that. Obviously you have a different accent than I do, and it'd be cool to hear some about where you are in the world.
So like I mentioned, I was always like wanted to be an artist. And I was brought up in Glasgow, Scotland. And for the longest time, like I thought I would be going to the Glasgow School of Art. It's pretty famous art school where Glasgow artist Rennie McIntosh, he like built the building. And for the longest time, I was like, I am going to study there. And then kind of as I grew up and I entered high school, I was like, oh, I don't know if I have the will to go to like do fine art. Like is so hard, and you just basically have to create and create and create and create, and maybe something will stick. So kind of as I grew up, I was lucky enough that one of my neighbors was a lecturer at the School of Arts. And I went to him when I was getting ready to go to university, and I was showing him my portfolio, and I was going to art classes there, like just paid ones for high schoolers. And he was looking at my stuff and he was like, is this what you want to do? And he wasn't saying my stuff's bad. He was very sweet. He's like, is this what you want to do? Like, looking at my class stuff and what I'm drawing in my free time. And I was like, I don't know. And he was like, but if you could do something, I was like, concept art, I guess. Like, I grew up playing video games, and I remember I used to like see art on like game covers when I was like 7, and I'd be like, I could do that better. And I was like, I couldn't. But it was just in that way. I was like, yeah, I could do that. And I kind of grew up, and as I got older, I was like, I can't do that. That's so scary. Oh my God.
It's actually really hard.
How would I even get into that? Yeah. So yeah, so when he was like, oh, you should look at Abertay, and that's how I found out. I was like, oh, I can go and draw anime for 4 years. Yay. And then when I got into the uni, I realized, oh, I can't really do that, I guess, if I actually do want to get a job. I kind of tried new things. I joined game jams, so that's how I met my current partner, actually. I tried drawing different things, like the Valorant stuff is how I got my job. And just being around other artists made me want to try so hard. There were so many talented people in my class, and I was like, I want to keep up with these guys. Yeah. And then when I got my job, it's like, even more brilliant artists. I was like, I want to keep up with these guys. So yeah, I grew up in Glasgow, went to Dundee, Scotland for university, and now I live in the capital, Edinburgh. So nice. Stuck in Scotland, really happy I could stay here, especially for my first job. I would have been quite scared if I had to move away at like 22.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Scotland, but I want to go see the world. I'd love to work in like Toronto one day, or maybe somewhere in like Sweden.
Oh yeah.
It'd be beautiful.
I've heard a lot about Sweden.
Yeah.
One of the guys, I.E. Sanchez, he is the senior environment artist at. Well, he's at Valve now, but he worked at Machine Games.
Yeah.
I think Machine Games is based in Sweden, so he moved to Sweden for a while. I worked there.
Would love to. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just want to go see the world. I think that's why I like game dev so much. It's like, my friends often ask me like, oh, what country do you want to move to? And I'm like, wherever there's jobs. But like in an excited way, not like in a, man, wherever there's jobs. Like, I do want to go see the world, and because I got to do this, hopefully I'll get to.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Is that your dog? Can you introduce me to your dog?
Yeah. Of course. This is Booma. Booma, come here. This is Booma. She's a 7-month-old working Cocker Spaniel, and she likes to lick gums. Booma.
Hello, Booma.
There you go.
You're pretty. I have a dog.
She's great.
On the other side of the door.
Oh, what kind of dog do you have? She's
a mutt. She's a mix between a Greater Swiss Mountain Dog, which is kind of like, looks a little bit like a Saint Bernard.
Oh my gosh.
Combined with a American Bulldog. So she looks like a pit bull, but
you need to send me pictures after this. I do need to see.
Okay. She's pretty old.
Very important. Include it in the podcast.
She's probably on her way out.
Bless.
She's like, I don't know, 16, 17 years old, something like that. So.
Oh my God.
She's
good life.
Yeah. She's good. But anyways. All right. Well, I don't think there's anything else specifically that I can think of right now. But I just want to tell you that Jade did have very nice words to say about you. She seems like a really cool boss.
She's so much fun. I sometimes like talk about her to my friends and they're like, what? I think she tweeted a picture recently of a plushie in her office wearing a thong. I'm like, yep, that's my boss. Yeah, I think she would have usually loved to do something like this, but she is working to the bone right now.
Yeah, she says she's grinding, like getting ready for Gamescom or something. So
yeah, man, said fun.
Yeah, she seems very cool, and she's been very responsive, which I always, I don't know if you ever read like her long rants on Twitter, but she's like, she's very
usually she comes to me, she talks to that everyone replying. She's like, look at that, look at that.
She's just really thoughtful, and like her sentiments are usually, it seems like she actually thought about them before she just like spouted out a bunch of nonsense.
I definitely know she does type up a lot of her things on like the notes app first. And like, she sits and like, often she'll sit and talk to like everyone in the studio. Like she kind of floats about when she's not working and talks to everyone. She'll sit and maybe chat with you for 10 minutes and rant about something. And then the next day she'll have like a tweet about it. And it's like really cool, like seeing, how she does things. I think that's how I managed to learn so much as well, because she has just a fountain of ADHD knowledge where she just has all this stuff. Every now and then she comes around, she's like, did you know I worked on this thing? And I'm like, no, what? Like, I think I worked at War Dog for like a few months. Then she was like, oh yeah, I made Female Predator. And I was like, what? Yeah.
That's
I was
cool.
like, okay.
That's really cool.
She was singing your praises to like, oh, you're going to get a DM from someone. Like, this account's really cool. Go look at him. And I was like, okay.
Cool. I wonder how, like, I wonder if I appear, I don't know. I guess I'm always self-conscious and wondering if anybody thinks I'm legit or not.
No, don't worry. I was like going through it. I was like, yeah, this is sick. It's very cool. I think it did help. The sad thing about Twitter now with the DMs is like, there's just so many bots. It's sometimes hard to get a hold of people. I think, even just like replying maybe on their post, being like, hey, I DM'd you. Can you please check it out? Yeah. Not a bot. I'm so sorry. Like,
I know. I found like maybe a year ago, it seemed a lot less cluttered with trash. And
it is so bad now.
But it's just a mess. But anyway, well, I appreciate. Thank you for agreeing to do this, and I appreciate your willingness and openness to talk to me.
Sure. I had a lot of fun. I'd never gotten to do kind of like a one-on-one thing like this before. And I do want to get better at public speaking because, I want to be able to be the kind of like lead concept artist one day that I can sit down with people and actually talk.
Or like build a presentation and give a talk in front of a crowded room.
Cool. Love to like work on something one day that's like, Warren's talk from a concept artist. Like, what? Usually we're kind of heading away. So one day. I hope the same for you as well. I'll be keeping an eye out for your game dev updates.
Yeah,
I definitely want to play that.
I still need to give it a name and make it into a game. it's
just all the ideas right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have a very fleshed out idea of what it could be. It's just a matter of translating that from my brain into the computer. So,
well, I'd love to see more.
Well, thank you, Rae. I appreciate it.
Thank you as well. I really had a good time, Andy.
Maybe we'll circle back for another round sometime.
I'd love to, yeah. Thank you so much for your time. This was so much fun.
All right. Thank you. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.